In this video, we're going to show you how to install the fuel filler neck on your Ford Focus located behind the passenger side rear wheel. Now I want to go ahead and come in on the passenger side kick panel right here. We need to loosen these two retainers. Grab a flathead screwdriver. I want to go ahead and unscrew these. Then I want to go ahead and pop this off. I'm just going to reach behind it and gently pull this out, working this out. Now right here, you want to lift up on the sill plate. That's going to allow us to pull this out. The reason why we pull that out is we need to access the inertia switch right here. We want to disconnect this harness. I'm going to use my flathead screwdriver. You can use a pocket screwdriver. Pry out gently and pull the gray connector down. Once that's undone, we're going to hop into the vehicle and crank the engine until the vehicle runs out of fuel. Let's go ahead and start the vehicle. Now it died out. We're going to try it again. Okay, at that point there, our fuel system is drained. Let's go ahead and continue. With the fuel system drained out, we're going to go ahead and reconnect our initial switch. We're not going to be starting the vehicle until the job is done. Snap that on. Go ahead and grab your cover and just reinstall that. Just gently snug these down. They don't have to be super tight. You just want to secure that panel in place. And let's continue. Open up the hood, locate your battery. Using a 10mm socket, loosen the ground terminal nut and disconnect the cable end. Open up the fuel door, release the cap, and let that hang. And we're going to start with the vehicle raised and supported safely. And we're going to access the fuel filler neck and the return line. We're going to access that right up in front of the rear cradle and above the rear sway bar. Now there's a clamp right here that's holding the rubber fuel filler neck to the tube, the steel tube right here. I'm going to use my flathead screwdriver to try and loosen up this clamp. Now when doing a job like this here, it's always best to make sure that you are wearing safety glasses. Chances are your car might be a little bit rusty if it's around the same age as ours. Slide that hose clamp off. Now you want to go ahead and pull this rubber hose off of the steel tube. And because of the age of the vehicle, chances are that rubber tube is kind of stuck to that steel tube. I simply take the pick and I put it in a little angle. I don't want to cut the rubber or poke a hole in it, but I want to get underneath and just kind of push it around, working that rubber free, breaking that seal free. I'm going to use a pry bar. I'm going to come up underneath here, right on the edge, and I'm going to use the lower control arm for leverage. I'm going to reach up and pull on this while I pry it. And our goal is to separate this hose. Pop that off like so. And then we're going to be able to pull this over at an angle and tuck that over. Now, due to the fuel vapors coming out of this tube, I'm going to go ahead and grab an old glove, put it over it, and use a tie strap to go ahead and seal this up for vapors. Make sure you're working in a well-ventilated area when doing this job. Now if we follow the fuel filler neck up, there's a 10mm bolt right here we need to loosen and remove. And we need to get to this green clip right here. We need to separate this. All right, now that we have that moved back, it's gonna give us access. This has a white push button on it right here, a little white tab, and there's gonna be one on the top as well. So we need to push these two together and slide this line back, or actually slide it forward. Now that we unlocked those white tabs there, I have my hand up over the cradle, over the top and the back. We want to pull on this and disconnect that. Using a 19mm socket, loosen and remove the lug nuts. Once you have the lug nuts removed, grab the wheel, remove it, and set it aside. Now with the wheel removed, we want to go ahead and remove the wheel well liner itself. There's going to be a series of plastic push pins. There's going to be some screws around the perimeter, and then metal retainer tabs that are held onto screws. We need to remove all of those and then remove our fender liner. There's a plastic retainer right here. I'm going to use my trim tool. You want to pop out the center of this and then grab the base and pop that out. Now if you follow the fender liner up, there's going to be two metal retainers here. I'm going to use my trim tool here because it fits right in perfect and pop these off. We're going to reuse those, so set those aside. On the top here, one of those metal tabs or retainers on each side of the shock. Due to the age of the vehicle, these are susceptible to breaking, so you might have to source a replacement. On the front side of the liner, come on down, there's another retainer here. And if we come on back here, up on the top side, but the forward is another retainer, pop that one. Down at the bottom on the front, there's going to be a screw. This is a 7/32 screw. I'm just going to use your socket, preferably a ratchet, to speed up that process. Now we have these two plastic push pins here. We need to remove these. All right, both of those broke on us. We will have to source out some replacements. Now we can go ahead and remove the fender liner. You're basically just going to grab this and maneuver any way you can. Now right here is the fuel filler neck. There's a clamp holding it in place. There's a 10mm bolt right here, and ours is pretty rusty. I'm going to go ahead and spray it down with a rust penetrant and let this soak for a short bit and spray this around the tube as well. Now if you have a securing strap here holding the vent tube, you want to go ahead and snip that. Now if you follow this flex hose down, on our particular vehicle there is another wire tie here. We do need to snip that off. Use your socket, loosen and remove that. With that bolt out, we're going to pull this down, and we just need to kind of rotate that filler neck and pull this out like so. Let's go ahead and swap over our hose clamp here. And then down below, we're going to swap over the lower mounting bolt. This has like a little retaining washer on it. You don't need that washer, but if it's in still usable condition, you can go ahead and swap it over. Only reason why you would keep that on there, it just kind of holds that bolt in place like so. Let's go ahead and install it. Go ahead and feed that filler neck up and through. Now we're just going to get the upper bolt started here. Just a couple threads. Now we have the last port here for that vent tube to attach to the fuel fill tube or the vent line here. That's why we have our fill neck here loose. Go ahead and line that up. You want to hear that click, lock into place, and then you can push the green lock tab over. Go ahead and get the lower bolt started here on our fuel filler neck. Use our 7mm socket on our ratchet, and we want to go ahead and tighten down our hose clamp on the fuel filler tube. Here we go. Let's tighten down our bolt on the inside here. Let's go ahead and attach our vent tube here. Cut off the excess. Go ahead and install the fuel fill cap. Close the door. Go ahead and grab your fender liner. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this up into place here. Now we have a series of those studs all the way around here. We wanna get these lined up. Make sure the fender liner goes up underneath the lip of the fender. All right, we have the 2 studs coming through in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and install 2 of our retainers. Install our screw in the forward portion here. Go ahead and snug that down. Now we have another one of these here that goes into place. And if we work our way over here, we're going to install a plastic retainer. Now we did have to source some replacements here because ours broke. All right, let's move to the back section. On the back lower portion, install your plastic retainer here. And open the inner portion of the fender liner. We have 3 more of our stud retainers here. There's one there. There should be one right here. And once we have those in place, a little trick I like to do is I'm going to take a socket. Something similar to the size. I put it over it and I tap it. I'm going to repeat this process for the other metal retainers. Go ahead and take your wheel, line it up on the wheel studs, and we'll get the lug nut started. It's always best to start all of the lug nuts by hand and then tighten them down. That way that we don't cross thread the lug nuts. Now when snugging these down, you want to do this in a crisscross pattern. Let's now go ahead and torque down our lug nuts to 94 foot-pounds. And when doing this here, it's preferred to do it in a crisscross pattern. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.